everybody, Neon here, as usual. Remember when I did book 3 of The Little Pony Legend and said I read the whole thing? Well, it turns out there's an extra involving T-Rex that I left out. I thought the thing ended as The Legend of Korra did, and the other two did the same thing, so I pretty much assumed. Oops. And since Maggie also wanted me to review Rainbow Rocks, her version of Rainbow Rocks, not the real thing, I'm gonna take them both out in one video. Starting with the part I missed in book 3. So, let's look at that. First things first, the setting for this. Somehow, Maggie and Atia managed to expand one two-parter of My Little Pony and one episode of Legend of Korra into 7 extra chapters. That's pretty impressive. Speaking of which, the episode of Legend of Korra they did is called Korra Alone. And there is when they show what happened to Korra during the 3-year time skip. It's during this time that this part takes place, and it's pretty impressive how much work was put into it. Next, there's T-Rex. Nothing really changed with him, he has the same motives and everything, but by the end, I felt he was much more powerful than the canon dictates him. For example, he manages to brush off being blasted by Plea, which is shocking even by equestrian standards. Then again, he did survive Twilight's blast, so don't sugarcoat it. It still kind of bugs me how he never uses any of the stuff he drained from the population, however. Also, I think there's a slight continuity error. I could be wrong, but still. Before T-Rex showed up, Celestia said he would go after humans first, and then alicorns. But when he actually did show up, it's the other way around. Looks like one centaur didn't follow his script. Next, we have Plea. In case you don't know, at the end of book 3, Plea ends up alive and reformed, and I'm pretty glad she has more of a role in this part. She kinda takes the role of Sunset Shimmer, you know, that character who's trying to fit in, but is not doing so well until later. Yeah. One scene I did not enjoy was when Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie blabber on how she screwed up everything. Guess that comes from tactless ignorance, I suppose. Also, something that was brought to my attention by the author. She tried to touch on Korra's PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. In honesty, I never noticed such things till it was brought up. But I thought about it, and I realized just how likely Korra and Twilight would have PTSD. Think about it. In the story, they both lost their abilities twice, having the world on their shoulders, and were nearly killed by the Red Lotus as well. If that doesn't trigger PTSD, at least a little, I don't know what will. Well, that's all I got to add for book 3, so on to Rainbow Rocks. Now, let me make it perfectly clear, I did not watch the original Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks, so I can't relate too much to canon this time. This is kind of my own introduction to Rainbow Rocks in a way. Now first, the Dazzlings, Adagio, Aria, and Sonata. Not too much has changed in terms of overall persona for the trio, but one odd thing was brought up here. They can bend, or could until they were beaten. Adagio can fire bend, Aria can earth bend, and Sonata can water bend. I'm confused. In book 1 of this saga, it states the bending styles depends on the person's personality, right? For instance, Rainbow Dash and Twilight are given fire bending, while Pinkie and Fluttershy are given air bending. So, by that logic, Adagio would be the only one that made sense. At least to me. She is the leader and has a temper, of course, but the other two are kinda questionable. Aria being a jerk to everyone, or probably be more fire than earth. As for Sonata, why does she have waterbending? Because she's blue? No, I believe that she is a better airbender, since she acts a lot like Pinky in a way. A bit more subtle, but still. Speaking of bending, Sunset Shimmer has bending too, firebending to be exact, and however, she is more worried about it, to the point of asking Korra to get rid of it, which we all know she can't really do that. And the only person that can do that is already dead, so yeah. Now, here's something that intrigued me. It seems Sunset Shimmer is dealing with the same issues that Aang did. It's like this. When Sunset is shown sleeping, she has a nightmare about her as a demon, which actually happened in Quest for Girls, attacking the main six and herself as well. That is rather interesting, and something I think would truly happen to Sunset, canon or not. The same way Luna turned into Nightmare Moon, which I'm surprised wasn't brought up in the saga yet. Writers, if you could, maybe a scene with Luna helping Sunset deal with the problem will be much appreciated. It gives a big help in terms of that interactions thing you're so good at. And I think that's it. Yep, the Tyrek part is interesting, and for Rainbow Rocks, I would give it a read. And on that note, before I forget, I took it upon myself to make some fancy scenes, mainly made of vectors, and edit them in for the LPL saga. With that I say, I'll see you all later, enjoy, and Neon out.